All right, all right, all right. I'm back. The technology is working. That took me only 60 seconds. So good evening, everyone. I want to welcome you to the second day of the 3-day Get Wealthy Challenge. Welcome, get on in here. You know the rules of engagement. You're here. Let's put those cameras on so that I can see your beautiful faces. In the chat, let me know where you're from so I can give you some shout outs. We just came out of our VIP sessions and man, some really, really good takeaways, very insightful knowledge in the chat. If you've been here we're here for the kickoff and you were here yesterday and you're here tonight, I want you to say me in the chat. If you're in it to win it and you've been here every day, excellent. Let me give some shout outs to Cynthia from North Carolina. Awesome. Diane Timmons, me. Okay, excellent. Who we got? Folks from Michigan, Rhonda. Oh, Barbara from Cambridge, Massachusetts. We got a bunch of folks who are here. If you've been here for 2 days, put me in the chat. I want to give you a shout out too. Excellent. Stacy's here from Phoenix, Arizona. Brenda's here from Maryland. Awesome. Pauline, Erica, awesome, from Cincinnati, Ohio. Barbara Breland from New Jersey. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Well, I'm so excited. And listen, we're just getting started, right? That's what I want you to know. We're just getting started. Are y'all ready to win at wealth? That is the challenge. That is what this challenge is about. You winning at wealth, right? And you have everything you need to be everything you need to be. And the fact is, you're in this room. So okay, now I'm gonna have to give the rules of engagement, and I am going to just do a recap of where we've been. How many of you, let me ask you, if it's your first day here, Delaware, me, Houston, excellent. Delaware, that's right, Jean, my good girlfriend. I ain't gonna tell on you, Jean, but Jean be dancing, y'all. That's all I'ma tell. But guess what? I be dancing right with her. That's why that's why we get along. Okay, so let's get this party started. If it is your first day, don't even worry about it. Don't even worry about it because we got you. I'm going to do a recap and then I'm so excited because we have a special guest tonight. One of the things I love, and I know our members are like, oh Lord, I know Miss Deb is going to ask me, but I'm excited because you are going to be hearing from one of our members is going to be here to share her experience. And I love sharing our transformation. So here's what I want you to know is this. If you are in the right place, if you are finally ready to take ownership of your financial success, if that's you, I want you to put yes in the chat. If you are finally ready to take ownership of your financial success, if you finally understand that if it is to be, it is up to me, put yes in the chat so I can give you a shout out. That's right. Okay. You are in the right place. If you said, I want to be with I don't want to be in the smartest one in the room anymore. I want to be with other people who are like-minded and are inspired to achieve the financial success they desire, live a life of abundance, give from the saucer. Y'all know when the flow goes over the saucer, that means you have a full cup and you're not giving a half empty cup. Is that you? Put yes in the chat, right? Put yes in the chat. What I want you to know is that the only thing standing between you and the financial success you desire and deserve, and this is what I want all of you to know, that all of you desire and deserve is knowledge. And that's exactly why we built WealthyU. Okay, so before we get started, before I do my little recap, for those of you who've been hanging with me, now I saw some of you been hanging with me for a few days here. I would love, we're going to do some dish moments just to start out. Okay, so just 3 people, if you will raise your hand, I would love for you to share what you discovered in these past 2 days, right? Is there something that you discovered? You were searching, right? And just raise your hand up, or you can put the reaction button down and raise your hand. Who wants to share a dish moment? Now, let me just not say something that you discovered, inspired you, surprised you, or touched you in your heart, right? Who wants to come up and share? Now, my members know, don't let me call on you. No, I'm not going to call on you. I want you guys to know, we do so much to plan for this 3-day challenge because we know that lives are going to be changed. Many of you are going to become members in WealthyU, and you're going to be thinking about, you're going to be telling your story. So let me just repeat what dish is. Have you discovered something in the past 2 days that you didn't know? Were you inspired by something in these past few days that you didn't know? Or were you surprised to learn something that I shared? Let me see if there's anything in the chat. Okay, well, I'm gonna let you guys chew on that for just a moment. And I want to give you guys a sense of where we've been and where we're going. So first of all, I want to talk about the rules of engagement. Now, one of the things we're doing is we're giving away prizes. So I've got books and planners and all kinds of things. And those who are the most interactive, we're looking at the chat at who we're going to give those gifts away. So I want you to know, I want you to be interactive, ask questions, right? Be transparent. And we're just talked about the dish moments, right? The dish moments. The dish moments are, what have I discovered? What inspired me? What surprised me? And what was heartfelt? And most of all, we want you to have fun, because that is what we do in WealthyU. How many of you have ever joined me for WealthyU Wind Down, where I'm here? In fact, I thought it was WealthyU Wind Down, and I was like, honey, where is my glass of wine? He's like, girl, it's Tuesday. It's not WealthyU Wind Down. And so the other thing I want you to know is that we win at well, and we drink wine too. Now, this is the place to be. If that is you, then you are in the right place. So I also want to share with you that our ambassadors are here, Anita, Sharice, and Virginia, and they have been reaching out to you. And all of you have an opportunity, if you join this challenge, to have a WealthyU assessment a session. And the beautiful thing about our WealthyU ambassadors is that they were sitting right where you were at one point. And they were like, oh, what do I do now? And many of them have been with me several years. Sharice, probably she's year 5. Anita, she's an OG 5. I'll call my original WealthyU gangsters, right? And you're going to meet somebody tonight, literally, who's probably been with me the longest. And that is and is probably the youngest. And that's what I love about WealthyU. Also, okay, we're getting some of these dish moments. I'm going to go into the chat. Also, there is still time for you to get our Wealth Secrets VIP bundle, right? Now, some of you are going to join and you're going to get access to this information, but I want you, no matter where you are on this journey, to get access to the knowledge that's responsible for thousands of women accelerating their financial growth. Do you know we have women in here literally have increased their income by tens of thousands of dollars? In fact, I'm on the phone with someone and they say, Miss Owens, I didn't tell you, but you know, the first time you talked to me and I told you how much I made, you said, girl, you better make some more money. And she said, that hit me in my heart. I felt it. And you were like, girl, you've been sitting in that job that long for that little bit of money. All I got to tell you, I'm just going to be honest with you. I mean, no malice, but I need you guys to get paid what you're worth, because you are paid. If you get paid what you worth, that means you're going to be able to invest more in your future. Well, little did I know, not only did she take it to heart, but do you know she got a $50,000 raise increase? Is that something? And here she had been sitting in that same. So here's all I want you to know is that in WealthyU, you're going to get pushed. And so in that Wealth Secrets VIP kit is my book, Wealth Secrets, and it shares the stories of women who were able to apply. Stacy said, I want and I need that sort of raise. So here's all I'm going to tell you is we get exactly what we ask for. We get what we deserve. Are y'all with me? And what is important, I've been talking about shifting from this earner to this owner mindset. It's critical that you make this shift and that you understand that you are the one who is responsible for turning their income into wealth. Woo, Lacey, you better tell it. A closed mouth doesn't get fed, right? You have to be able to ask for what you want. But here's the other thing. Here's what I find. These people aren't doing you any favors. Do you understand what I'm saying? I mean, some of you have spent tens and thousands of dollars on your education. You have all kinds of expertise. You have certifications. And yet somehow you feel like if you ask for more, here's what somebody told me. They said, I know I should be grateful. You deserve it. That's what I want you to, I don't want you to be ungrateful, but I do need you to understand that you bring a lot to the table. And here's what I find. You teach people how to treat you, right? So if you're not getting what you deserve, I'm gonna bet that you do not clearly know how to convey the value that you had. Are y'all with me? Right? So if you don't convey how you create value, and what is value? It's making things better. Then people aren't gonna, if you don't believe it, nobody else is gonna believe it either. But I think the most important thing that I share with women is you need to be documenting how you make value, how you create value. And that's good for you to understand how you're contributing in whatever role that you're in. And also when you sit down with your boss, you're able to convey clearly how you've made a difference and made an impact. Is this making sense to y'all? I hope this is making sense to y'all. I'm going to get to those moments in just a minute. And then lastly, we're giving away stuff. So make sure that you're making your comments in the chat, because we're going to be looking at those people who were really engaged. And that's who we're going to be giving our wonderful Wealth Secrets book, our Goal Getter Planner, my book, A Purse of Your Own, Nickel and Dime Your Way, and that little wine glass. It comes in a cool pouch. Okay, so let's get on with it. So yesterday, what I covered was Wealth Secret number 1, and that was making the shift from an earner to an owner. And you in your workbook, you were supposed to take a quiz, and that quiz would tell you whether or not you had an earner or an owner mindset. So that's where we've been so far. And we are covering in this challenge 3 of the wealth secrets: mindset, strategy, and execution. So we covered earner to owner. Next, today, we're going to be going to strategy. And strategy, what I'm going to be sharing with you. How many of you did I take your breath away when I said many of you would already be millionaires? When I told you that, how did that make you guys feel? I didn't say it to shock you, but it's true, right? Like, it's true. Okay? It's true. Many of you've had 10. I see those skeletons. The skeletons are out of the closet. That's right. Many of you have had tens and thousands of dollars go through your hand, but because no one ever taught you how to understand confirmation, that's right, never taught you how to turn that income into wealth, you haven't achieved the level of financial success you desire and deserve. And that's exactly what our mission is here in WealthyU, to help you achieve the level of financial success you desire and deserve, to give you the right blueprint that's going to help you get faster, further. Who's ready to get, further, faster? Who's ready to help their money grow further, faster? If that's you, put yes in the chat. That's right. So I told you I was very, very excited today because that's right. Erica says, yes, I do. Diane, yes. Sandra, yes. So who's ready to hear from somebody who said, you know what, I want something different? And I'm not sure how we connected, but what I love about this young woman you're about to meet most is no matter what, this young lady keeps pushing. I have seen her overcome so many obstacles that for many of you, you would have probably just said, you know, I give, uncle. And yet this young woman kept pushing and pushing and pushing. And as a result, she's probably achieved more than many of you who are twice her age. What else can I say about her? Not only is she's like, who is this woman talking about, right? Is that what you're thinking? I'm going to pin both of us right now because I am really, really excited. I'm always excited when I get our members to come on and have a conversation with me. So I want to introduce you to a real winner. And winners in WealthyU are, they want it. They take responsibility. They say, I am responsible, and no excuses. And if anyone epitomizes that, it is this young lady. So Ashley Askew, thank you so much for taking the call and coming on and having a conversation with me during this challenge. How are you?
Well, first off, thank you so much for all the amazing and beautiful things that you said about me. We've been rocking and rolling for a long time now, so I really do appreciate that.
Yeah, but you know, for a minute. So Ashley, share with our audience, how long have I been coaching you? How long has it been?
I know you ask me this question all the time, but it was so long ago. I was still living with my mama and daddy. And that had to be, I think I was working in New Orleans at the time too. So I want to say around like 2013, 2014.
Which
So
is crazy, right?
yeah.
Almost 10 years. So
Yeah.
I got to share this with you guys. Ashley was one of my first private coaching clients. Ashley, were you that? I mean, I'm not gonna tell your age now, but I mean, you were like,
I was in my 20s.
yes, you were in your 20s. And so the question I have for you is, what caused you to say, I need to invest in coaching with that woman? What caused you to join to want me to coach you?
I wanted something different for my life. I grew up, my parents, they did the best that they could, and I appreciate that. But I always used to hear, oh, I don't have it. We can't do this. We can't do that. I don't have the money for it. And I just knew that there had to be something different. Like everybody can't be living like this. And so once I got out of college, I traveled a lot and it just opened my eyes to a different world. And I'm like, no, I can experience something different. I don't have to follow in the footsteps of my parents. And then also, my parents are older, and I knew there was going to be a time that I was going to have to take care of them. And I wanted to be in a place where I could take care of them if I had to do that financially, but then also not burden myself.
Yes, I love that. So, Ashley, when we met, you were a flight attendant. You were staying in your with your parents, and you were in the process of buying of renovating, right? Your first real estate property. And I remember, chatting with you about it, and I was like, that is a smart move. How many, typically when you get out of college, you want to have your own place, but you had the fortitude to not only want to learn how to invest in your 401k, and that's really where we started, right? But
Mhm.
also invest in that, make that property or real estate. I want to know what drove that decision internally.
So I don't know if God just gave me the eye to notice opportunity when other people don't see it, but I had a family home that was sitting and it was molded, the foundation was falling apart, and I have two older siblings. And so I was just like, man, this is my ticket to get out of here. If I could get my parents to let me have the house, I could just fix it up and move in. That's what I was like, yes, I can get out my mom and daddy house. So I was super excited about that. I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know like how I get a contractor. I just said, okay, I can get up out of here. And so then when, I was changing my mind, I was like, oh no, I can rent it out to flight attendants because the property was close to the airport. And then I was like, wait a minute, let me start figuring out what I can do with it. But I had one condition. My dad said he would let me have the property if I proved to him that my older two siblings didn't want it. So I said, okay, easy. I typed up a letter. I told them I'm trying to move out of mom and daddy house. You know how they are. Help me out. Sign off on this letter so I can show him that, you guys don't want the house. And so once I showed him that, my dad was like, okay, cool, you can have it. But nobody helped me. Nobody gave me any money, nothing. I was like, I have this house now, what? And I just had to figure it out. And I ran it across a contractor. We came up with an agreement and he fixed the house for me. And I ended up renting it out right after.
Amazing, amazing. And then, Ashley, I'm interested, I've watched you, wow, really grow into it. You're a real estate investor. You've learned how to build your 401k. What I would like for you to share with our audience, what kind of impact has being in Wealthy You, how has that influenced your growth in terms of your mindset? It's not just the money, the mindset and how you view things.
Well, I want to start when I first met you. I had a
Okay.
whole bunch of debt. My AC in my car went out. I do remember this. My AC in my car went out, and I was fussing about the contractor. Now, mind you, everything worked out. I found this contractor. He fixed up the house, but he fixed it up, but then everything started falling apart. And so, I was just more so at that time, I was more so focused. How do I get out of debt? I don't know what I just got myself into. Now I have a whole bunch of debt. And then that's how our private coaching call started. And I just want to let everybody know I fell off. I had my calls with Miss Deb and then I fell off. I didn't take the action right then and there. But then something switched. I can't tell you when that moment happened. I will say once I was able to cash out and refinance on the house and I had a tenant, I was like, whoa, okay, I'm on to something. I need to figure out what to do next. I didn't have anybody that I could talk to about this. My parents worked at the post office for 30, 40 years. You work at one job, this is what you do, and you retire. That's what I knew. So when I reached out to Miss Deb again, I said, hey, I got it fixed. It's working out. Now what do I do? How do I invest this? How do I make it grow? And that's how it started. And then again, I stepped back and I was just like, okay, I got it. I didn't have my 401k and good investments. They were in the investments that my employer automatically puts them in. And I mean, a few years might have passed by actually. And then I said, Miss Deb, I need some help. This 401k ain't growing. I'm working hard. Now I'm owing taxes. What is this? Like, I need to figure this out. And I remember we had a call. You looked at my investments. You said, get out of these things, get out, and transfer them over to other mutual funds and stocks. And again, I didn't do it right away. I don't know why. Maybe I have to process stuff. I'm not sure, but I didn't do it right away. And then later on, I did it. And this is just a rough estimate, and there's no guarantee that this will happen for you. But I want to say, Ms. Deb, within a year, I made $50,000 in my 401k just by listening to you.
Wow. And you know what? And so the other, I need to meet with Ms. O'Properly, Stacy says. And so the other thing I would say to you though, I would ask you, Ashley, is like, you've been in this community, right? And so, and you've been in WealthyU, and what I want folks to know is there are levels to WealthyU, right? Are you running for 6? Are you running for 7? And, Ashley was like, no, I got to be in the highest level because that's where I'm going. And the question I have for you is on the other side of it, right? Like first you not knowing, and now you being exposed and having this kind of success now, what has it done to the people around you? You know what I mean? Like, how has that impacted things?
Well, one thing you might have said earlier today, you have to surround yourself around people and with people who think differently than you. And I want to say that's what WealthyU and being in Legacy Wealth Accelerator has given me. I'm around doctors, entrepreneurs, and you guys just really opened up my mind because, I'm in my 30s. And my friends are still on TikTok and Instagram. And I'm like, girl, you need to be switching over your 401k to this brokerage link, like get it together. And so sometimes I can't have those conversations with the people that I hang out with in my everyday life. And that's not to say that I still can't be friends with them. I can throw you what is the saying? You take them to the water, but you can't make them drink.
There you go.
I can take you to the water, but I can't force it. However, for me, I'm going to put myself in a community where I can be challenged, where I can be nurtured, where I can grow. And what I love about it is just learning from everybody's experience. Like, girl, I bought this mutual fund and I learned this. I was like, ooh, what is it? Okay, look it up.
What's next? NVIDIA. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I love it. Ashley, thank you so much. Well, one of the reasons, and it's funny, Ashley and I were having a conversation. She's like, Miss Deb, I don't want to be the youngest. I want other people to come too. And I said, well, girl, that's why I need you to get you on this challenge and let folks know that no matter what age you are, this information is important. You can create a legacy and you can make a difference. And Ashley, just one last thing, parting moments. I'm going to invite folks to come to join WealthyU. What would you say for folks who are who are wondering, is this for me? Like to encourage them?
I'll say a few things. What's on the other side of fear? Either you're going to be sitting in this same place come this time next year, on this same challenge and your 401k not going nowhere, you don't have any investments, you're going to be surrounded by the same people, or press the button, show up, and watch your life and your money change. And just, sometimes I get on soapbox. So just one other thing.
That's good.
Everything that we do in life is one step away from a decision. And all you have to do is decide that you want something different and go for it. I'm no different from anybody here. I'm just younger and that's fine, but you can change the trajectory of your life based on a decision. But you have to believe that you are worthy of that decision. And why aren't you? That's all.
I love it. Ashley, thank you so much. The other thing I want to say is, the other thing about Ashley might say she stepped back, but when Ashley steps back, it doesn't mean she's not taking action. The one thing I will applaud her for, that one little house as she started out with, Ashley is playing Monopoly now, right? And that's what I'm so proud of. So she started with one, she went to the next, went to the next, went to the next. And I don't know, every time I saw you with one of our other members and I'm thinking you're one place and you're in another place, you're like, Miss Deb, I had to pick up this other property. So thank you so much, Ashley. And what I want everybody to know, give her a hand, guys. Was she awesome? Thank you so much for sharing your story. What I want everyone to know is that if it can happen for Ashley, it can happen for you. And the only thing standing between you and the financial success you desire and you deserve is exactly what she said, a decision, right? So Ashley, thank you so much. 10 years, girl, that's a good one. That's a good one. Isn't that amazing? All right, so let's get this party started. Hang on, I want to, so give me some feedback, y'all. What do you think about Ashley? What really stood out in her story? In the chat, let me know. What stood out in Ashley's story? Let me read some of these responses as well. That's right, her determination. That's right, knowledge and action. She did not give up. She didn't tell you all the things that were going on in the background either. And in spite of it, she continued to move her desire to break the paradigm, her energy. Yeah, I love that she made an action. She took action. She persisted. And that's right, and not a quitter. Here's the interesting thing about WealthyU. How she increased that 401k. No, it wasn't by using a broker. It was by her taking the knowledge in WealthyU, shifting to a brokerage account and applying what she learned in WealthyU. That's how her money, that's right, applied knowledge. And Helen says, her saying, I'm no different from anyone. It was a decision, positivity, and execution. Well, what I hope most of all you get out of WealthyU is that we are family, right? And the funny thing is, I see these women meeting each other in different places. They send me pictures. Look at who I'm with, right? And so that's what it's about, right? Being with like-minded people who want you to go further, faster. That's right. The company you keep is everything. And I want you to know that in WealthyU, you are in good company. So I want to talk, I talked just a little bit yesterday about the difference between the earner and owner mindset. And if you think, that's why I want you to see that Ashley definitely symbolizes, is a good example of making the shift, right? So we'll spend, while we'll spend a 100K on our college degree, that owner mindset is spending, investing in a mentor, right? Investing in a country club, $50,000 a year. Why are they investing in that? Because it's the people that you surround yourself with, right? While we're focused on earning a salary of 100,000, the owner mindset says, I'm going to take that $100,000 a year. I'm going to take some money off the top and I'm going to invest it and create a portfolio of $2 million that's going to pay me 100K in dividends. And I'm going to talk about that in just a minute. Where we feel like the more money we make, the bigger the house should be. What did Ashley do? Ashley stayed in her parents' home, invested in an investment property that only increased in value and is continuing to, and is playing Monopoly. Whereas we'll go out and buy a Tesla model car for 100K. If you had invested 100K in Tesla 10 years ago, it would be worth $1 million. Whereas we will buy that Louis Vuitton bag for 5,000. The owner mindset says, I'm going to buy Louis Vuitton stock and become part share owner in that company. What I want you to know is that that is the shift. So that's an example. Agree or disagree with me, y'all. So if you were to look at Ashley's story, has she made the shift from an earner to an owner? Agree? Right. So that's what I want you to know what's critical. And in the first chapter of Wealth Secrets, that's the insight that I share. That I saw that while we were being taught to earn as much as we can, the wealthy had acquired assets and they weren't first generation. In many cases, you had 18-year-olds coming into the brokerage firm, sitting down with their private banker and saying, okay, these are the shares that you're getting back to what Marion said early, right? Getting back to what Marion said earlier about how his grandfather had left him some stock. That is very common in high net worth households. Are y'all with me? So who's ready to make the shift from an earner to an owner mindset? That's what's critical. So in WealthyU, we really challenge conventional wisdom, like everything that you've been told. Stacy says, I want to be a first generation wealth builder that leaves a legacy. And that's exactly what you're going to get in WealthyU, a legacy wealth blueprint. Here's all I want you to know is we were given the wrong blueprint. And that's why the wealth gap is so wide. And what I also want you to know is that, you know, unfortunately, it is by, what do I want to say? Like somebody said, Miss Owens, you said that these, no, you know, it's, I won't say it's by even by intent. I think it's almost by contempt. Do you know what I mean?
I think it's design.
Yeah. Well, you know, like it is, but it isn't, right? Like if you have the knowledge, you can move beyond it, right? And so now tonight I want to double click on wealth secret number 2. And it is very, very important that you understand this. And it's this, right? Wealth secret number 2 is strategy. Like we have middle class strategies. So that earner mindset says, I don't want to lose my money, right? So we invest in what are called guaranteed accounts. Whereas the owner mindset, they're invested in self-directed brokerage accounts is exactly what Ashley said. I did not make this up, right? So she was in all these target date funds and then didn't realize that, you know, she had an opportunity to actually invest outside of just that limited realm. And once she did that, everything changed. So owner mindset, right? Whereas we're investing in these target date funds and people are just putting a, you know, whatever they throw you into, right, is what you're going to get. And the issue with that, y'all, is that your money doesn't grow. So we'll have somebody say, oh, well, you need to get in this index universal life, be your own bank. When I listen to some of the crazy stuff people say on TikTok and TikTok and Instagram, why do you think they say that? It's because they
People
get
are
a
unsophisticated.
lot of fees. Okay, they get a lot of fees from those investments, right? Whereas the owners, they invest in stocks and build stock portfolios. We invest in indexed annuities where they say, oh, you're not going to lose your money and you'll get some money in the market. Whereas the wealthy are investing in backdoor IRAs and mega Roth IRAs. So the point that I want to make is, and here's the point that I want to make to all of you. Financial ignorance is expensive. That's what I want you guys to know. Like, you're playing not to lose, but you're not winning. Backdoor IRAs are where you invest in an IRA and then you convert it into a Roth so that when you take the money out, the money is not taxed when you take it out. A high net worth strategy. Are y'all with me? But you know, we're just not even exposed to those kind of strategies. And so what I want you to know is the reason that those middle class strategies have impacted us in such a significant way. You know, I don't like to tell you, I want to show you. Now, this is the most important thing you need to understand if you are going to achieve a level of financial independence, and it's this: the slower your money grows, the harder it is for you to achieve financial independence. Now, in this investment, in this chart, one of the things I said to our VIPs, I said, what do you think the average investor earns? The average investor earns about 2% because they're playing not to lose, right? And over time, the significance of that, using the rule of 72, that means if you're earning 2%, your money's doubling every 36 years. Whereas the owner mindset is going to invest in large company stocks. So if I invest in large company stocks at 10%, right, average annual return, then that means my money's gonna double every 7 years. And look at this. This is what's deep. Over 30 years, it's the difference between you having 10 times the money. Okay? Now, I'm not going to belabor that, but here's what I want you to understand. This rule will set you free.
For every $40,000 in income you're going to need when you retire, you need to have about $1 million, right? Because $1 million, that's called the 4% rule. And so that says that if I were to take out $40,000 a year, I wouldn't impact my principal. So I just want you to count those numbers in your head. Okay, so if I'm going to need $100,000 worth of income when I retire, then I need to be on track, right, to be at about 2.5 million. I just want to use round numbers here because I think sometimes we complicate this.
All right. So let me bring the camera back up. Did you guys understand the significance of that? Right? So for every 40,000 you need, you're going to need. Now that's not taking into account. Some of you have pensions, and if you have a pension that's paying you $5,000 a month, that's like having, that's $60,000 a year. That's like having $1.5 million. But the fact is, for many of us, how many folks in the chat, let me know if you actually have a pension. If you have a pension, put yes in the chat. If you have a pension, put yes in the chat, because if you do, you've got gold. All right. So a lot of people here, but for many of you, that pension isn't big, right? So it could be a couple of $1,000s. It's not going to be enough to keep up with inflation. And so what I want you to understand is the reason that savings is so important, not savings, but that you're growing your money and you have the right blueprint, is that you've got to make that money grow faster. If this is making sense to you, put yes in the chat, right? So what I want you to know, okay, so Rhonda says yes, Cassandra says yes. Rhonda says a very small pension, not enough, okay? And so can I show you the exact blueprint that we use in WealthyU to have you go further, faster, accelerate your financial growth, and create that legacy wealth that Stacy just talked about? So I want to share with you what the blueprint is. So the first thing there are levels to it, right? So the first thing, let me just pin this as well. So you guys pin it so that you're on my view so that you can see this chart, right? So there are levels to it. That's what I want you to know. The first thing is a financial awakening, and that's where you're at right now. The fact that you're in this challenge, you know that what you're doing right now has not gotten you the financial success you want. If that's you, put yes in the chat. And so what I need you to understand, if you've gotten the wrong blueprint, and what I'm sharing with you right now, if you've got the middle class mindset, we have to shift you to the wealth mindset. That's number one. Then the reason we want you to set up one of those wealth assessment sessions is we want you to see that you got a financial freedom factor, and it's different for everyone. And then what you're going to end up with is your 7-figure blueprint. So we're going to take you from 6-figure earner to 7-figure blueprint. We're going to create that legacy wealth blueprint, right? Shalita, I don't care you retired or not. Like retirement, I need to rewirement, right? Like we could live another 30 years, but you gotta continue to grow your money because that's the only way you're gonna be. Diane's nodding her head, she retired too, right? See, my family in here, that's what I love about it. You know, people are members in WealthyU and they still in the challenge. They'll be in here like I said, they're my OGs, okay? That's right, Roxanne, it's never too late. And so this is where we're at, financial awakening. Did I wake y'all up? Are y'all woke? Woke is not a bad word in WealthyU. We need to be woke. If you woke, put woke in the chat, right? So now that you understand you've got the wrong blueprint, now what we got to do is give you the right blueprint. So we're going to tell you how much you need. That's woke, woke, woke. That's right. We're going to tell everybody's blueprint is different. That's what I want you to understand. So there is no cookie cutter, right? It depends on how much you earn now, how much you're going to need. We're going to create that blueprint, right? 2024, the millionaire money year. I love it, Janelle. Okay, so now you're here and you're saying, yeah, Miss Owens, that sounds really good, but how do I get that 10%, right? Well, first we got to move you from saver to investor. And the way we do this is we teach you how to analyze, optimize, and maximize what you already have, okay? So we have to move you from saver to investor. And then the next thing we've got to do, and you just heard Ashley say it in her own words, right? My money, I had to make my money grow. My money was going nowhere, right? So we're going to teach you how to analyze, optimize, maximize, and what opportunities levers you need to pull. Then you're at the wealth acceleration stage, okay? You're at the wealth acceleration stage. Next, it's not enough to earn that money. You got to keep it. So if you're running for your first, if you need multiple 7 figures in order to, so I'm going to go back to that. If you need $100,000, you don't have a pension, you need about 2.5 million. So now we got to show you how to expand, not just into mutual funds, but into individual stocks, real estate. And that's what Ashley just shared. Ashley's in our Legacy Wealth Accelerator program. It's where we focus on first generation high earner tax advantage strategies, which is exactly what Ashley that is where she is right now. And then we're going to teach you high net worth strategies, right? That show you how the wealthy get wealthier. So you're going to go from just individual investor, and then you are going to create your legacy wealth blueprint. That is the blueprint, that is the strategy that is responsible for helping the members in WealthyU build their first 6, their first 7, and some are running for 8. So the question I have is, do I have permission to share with you exactly how you can become a member of WealthyU and have similar results as Ashley. In the chat, if you would like to know how you can get involved in WealthyU, put yes in the chat. I want to ask your permission. I'm not just going to say, this is what you should do. Who wants to know how we actually implement on that legacy wealth blueprint, right? So, I've taught you some concepts, some insights, but now we have to learn how to apply it. And if you want our help, I'm going to show you exactly how we do it. So let's see. Did I get your permission? Janelle says yes. Erica says yes. Sharon says yes. Ashley said, make the decision. Ashley, you still here cheering people on. I love it. Karen says yes. Sean says yes. Comfort says yes. Okay, excellent. So before I do this, I need to ask y'all a question, because we literally have programs that meet you exactly where you are. Okay. And so in the chat, how many of you are running to achieve your first six figures? If you're running to achieve your first six figures, meaning you haven't gotten to six figures yet, put yes in the chat. If that's you, put six figures. That's what I wanted, or just put six. If you're running for your first six figures, put six in the chat. Okay. Stacy says six. Who else? Cassandra says six. Who's running for their first six figures? Okay. So we have a program for that, right? If you're running for your first six figures, because we got to analyze, optimize, and maximize what you already have. Okay. Now the question I have, how many of you are already at six and you're trying to run for that seven figures so that you can create that legacy wealth blueprint? If you're running for seven already, put seven in the chat. You're over six and you're running for seven.
Are you referring to six figures in terms of income? Are you referring
I'm saying six figures in terms of your retirement plan, the assets that you've accumulated. Okay. Okay. So if you're running for seven, put seven in the chat, right? You already have 100K and you're running for seven. Okay. Running for seven, running for seven, running for seven. Okay. So 6 and 7. And how many of you have seven are running for seven figures and beyond? So who's running for 8? That's what we'll put, running for 8. Okay. So here's what I want you to know is no matter where you are, we're going to meet you where you are and you're going to accelerate. That's the goal, right? Because there are levels to it, and depending upon where you are. So just like you heard from Ashley, Ashley started in my private coaching program. She was running for her first 6, right? Then she said, I want to run for 7. So I'm going to level up to the Legacy Wealth Accelerator program. So let me just show you our levels, right? So we have a program. It's our Legacy Wealth Intensive. You're running for your first 6 figures, right? So that is going to be a program for you. That is a 12-month program, and it's designed for you to get a jump to your system. We got to take what you have and we got to make sure that we optimize it, right? And then once you're in that 12-month program, some of you are running for your first 7 figures right now. And so you need to be in our Legacy Wealth Builders program. And our Legacy Wealth Builders program is a 12-month program. And you learn how to analyze, optimize, and maximize your investments. You learn how to analyze and research mutual funds. You learn how to analyze and research stocks. You learn how to build a portfolio. It is quite extensive. You have a member success advisor. Every week, we are building financial athletes. You're learning how to optimize your investments. Now, some of you may not be at 7 figures yet, but you're at multiple 6 figures and you want to get to 7 figures and beyond. And in fact, some of you are high earners, and your Legacy Wealth Blueprint, if I go back to that $40,000 for every million, for those of you who want $100,000, make sure you got $100,000 in income, you can create your legacy wealth blueprint is going to be multiple seven figures. And this is the program you're going to want to be in, right? Because then it's high touch. You're going to get, it's a application only. You get one-on-one coaching with me. You get office hours and all of the above. But what I'm going to share with you tonight, so the first thing I need y'all to do, let me come back on camera, is I need for us to assess what program is going to get you the fastest, right? So that's the first thing. Like, I don't want you to be anywhere that I'm not going to get the results I need you to get. Are y'all with me? Like, WealthyU is about results. Like, if you're going to make an investment, then I need to feel confident that we can give you a return on that investment. And in fact, that's the biggest shift I need for you guys to make. Okay. See, some of you look at everything as an expense. And what I call that stepping over dollars to get to pennies. Are y'all with me? Now, what do I mean by that? Some of you want to, or might even say, well, I think I'm going to take that legacy wealth intensive because I feel like I need to test things, right? But it's not going to give you the results that you want. I need you to be in the right program. And so if we could put the assessment link in there in the chat, I want you guys to connect with us so that we make sure we get the right fit. Now, here's the other thing I want to say. I also want to say this, is that for many of you and for many of the members in WealthyU, let me just go back to the levels. Okay. You start here, then you go here, and then you go here. I mean, if we've done our job right, we've identified where you are, and the goal is always for you to ascend. Do you guys understand it in the chat? If you understand that, put yes in the chat. It is always, because in WealthyU, it's about you winning and going higher. It does not serve us for you to stay at a level, right? Like, if we're doing the job right, but wait a minute, let me just be clear. See, I know my members know what I'm about to say. Listen, I need to know if you're a winner. Okay. Why do we talk about winning? Because you got to have a winner's mindset. That winner's mindset means I'm going to shift to a wealth mindset and I'm going to win at wealth. And so this is what winner means. It means you want it and you have a desire for it, right? Like this is not for the faint of heart. It'll work if you work it. But you got to show up, you got to lean in, and you got to engage, and you've got to apply what you're learning. And I'm going to tell you, the women that do the best, they just execute. They do not overthink it. They look at all these other women, you with all these other women, and they talking about, well, yeah, my portfolio, I mean, I just bought NVIDIA and blah, blah, blah. And you standing over there, you like, I don't know. Right? Listen, that's not going to work. Okay. And so I've told people, WealthyU is not for everybody. It's not, right? Because what you're not going to do, right, is have an expectation of magic, because that's not how this thing works, right? This is you have a structure and a process that you go through. And what I want you to know, what I promise all of you, is that a lot of time, a lot of energy, a lot of investment went into creating a program that consistently plugs people in and they see their lives are changed. But not only does that, now here's the other thing, it's a ripple effect. Because once you gain, now I just want everybody, I'm gonna be very transparent. Our objective in WealthyU is for you to internalize these concepts, this knowledge of how to build wealth. And that is going to be the legacy that you pass on in your family. No one will ever start from scratch because you would have gotten the information. The most valuable asset you're going to get from WealthyU is the knowledge of how to build wealth. Okay, so what I am going to do, I'm going to, for those of you who say, I'm running for 7, that's the program I'm going to show you, but I want you to understand that we have different levels, right? So the level I'm talking about right now is our Legacy Wealth Builder programs. It is 12 months, right? And in that 12 months, we're going to analyze. The first thing we're going to do is figure out what your financial freedom number is, and it's different for everybody. So we have a financial independence calculator. We're going to figure out what that number is. And then we're going to optimize. We're going to take what you already have, and many of you are sitting in investments, and I can tell you right now, you're losing money. And so we're going to teach you how to research, evaluate, and analyze the performance of your mutual funds, because that's what most of you are in. And that's how you need to accelerate your financial growth, right? And so once we teach you how to do that, then the next thing we're going to do is maximize. What you're going to do is you're going to increase the contributions in those investments. You're going to learn about Roth IRAs. You're going to learn about how to contribute on, in, and above what you have. You're going to learn how to open a brokerage account, build a 7-figure investment portfolio, and accelerate your financial growth, right? And so now what I want you to do is, if you guys have a phone, click on that QR code. Take a picture of that QR code, right? Am I pinned? Okay, I am, right? So take a picture. Well, not a picture. Put your camera up and it will take you to the link. Or team, put the link in the chat as well. It's the bit.ly Legacy Wealth Builder link. Right? Everybody got that? If so, put yes in the chat. Sharice, you on it, girl. Appreciate you. Teamwork makes the dream work. All right. So I am going to follow you guys to that link, and I'm going to share with you exactly what you need to do for those of you who want to join WealthyU. And I'm going to reward those who are fast action takers. All right. Action takers are the money makers. That's what I want you to know. So hang on just a second. And I am going to go right to that screen. And that's our enrollment page. Okay. So if you're there, put yes in the chat. Okay. So let me share my screen. And the first thing that I want you to do. Why did that happen? Oh, huh? No. Hang on. I'm gonna need for oh, I know what I did. Hang on one second, guys. Let me come back here. Okay, and You gotta love technology. Okay, so let me see if I can share this now. Okay, can you guys hear me now? Lovely. Okay, I need somebody from the team to share their screen. So, who can share their screen? Anita, can you go to Legacy Wealth Builder page and share your screen, and I'll go over it that way.
You want to go on the Facebook page?
No, go to the Legacy Wealth Builder enrollment page, go to the link, bit.ly Legacy Wealth Builder. It's in the chat. Just click on that, and then I want you to share your screen. Is everybody at the enrollment page? Excellent. Whichever team member gets there. Okay, perfect. All right. So this is our Legacy Wealth Builder. It's our 12-month accelerator, right? And if you click on that Join Now button, click on the Join Now button. Yes, it'll take you to, scroll down, it'll take you to our terms, right? So you can go, you can pay in full, or you can have a payment plan, $497 a month or $49.97, right? So if you invest in the $49.97, you are going to save $1,000, okay? But here's what I'm going to tell you. Don't overthink it. Start with the $497, and if you want to pay in full, as long as you do it within the first 6 months, you can still save that $1,000. But what I want to just go over is everything that you get in this program. So if you could scroll up, Anita, just at the top. Okay, so let's talk about everything that comes with it. Every month you get a strategic advisory with me, and that's where I come in, and you've been going through our skill building programs. You have learned how to analyze and research your investments, and now you want to learn, okay, what is the next step? What do I do, right? The next step is coming to strategic advisory so that I can give you an additional insight, and so you can learn exactly how to analyze, optimize, and maximize your investment. The next step is you get an actual curriculum. That curriculum is based on my book, Wealth Secrets. And so it's all the new insights that I've shared about shifting from that earner to owner mindset. And the beauty of it is in each module, there's an actual story of a video of a woman telling her story on my Get Wealthy program from the Black Star Network on how she applied the principle and achieved a certain result. All of you will have a member success advisor. And that member success advisor is the person who has been your ambassador, right? So once you join, your ambassador who's been right where you are, they now are beside you. They're your point person cheering you on. And if you have any kind of roadblocks, we're going to make sure that we address them, because they've been in the same situation you were at one point, right, Anita and Virginia? You were in this challenge saying, I don't know. And now you're actually teaching the facilitating many of our skill building sessions. So every week we have a skill building session going on. But I'm going to tell you, I do not want you to go to the smorgasbord and go to everything first. You're gonna internalize it, you're gonna master it, and then you're gonna go to the next thing. So the first thing you're gonna do is learn how to analyze and research mutual funds, because for most of you, That is where the bulk of your investments are. The next thing, once you master that, then you're going to go into analyzing and researching stocks. And every week we have an analyzing and research stock. Every week there's a different topic, right? So there's analyzing and researching stocks, analyzing and researching mutual funds. You learn how to come up with your financial freedom factor. Okay, we have financial apps training where you actually learn how to invest outside of your 401k, use apps like Stash apps to start investing in individual stocks. And then from there, the next thing you're going to do is you're going to have access to our digital vault. And in there, you're going to have the Purse of Your Own book, the Wealth Secrets book, the Wealth Secrets audio, investing in all kinds of additional trainings. And then every quarter, we have additional workshops and master classes, and you get a pass to that if you're already a member. Just like everyone who is a member of Get Wealthy, they have VIP. A member of WealthyU, they always get VIP access. So the other thing you get is 12-month access to all of our recordings. So all of the trainings are there. They're available to you. We're upgrading our portal right now. And so all of that is going to be centralized. Right now, we have a private Facebook group for each one of our groups. And that's where we house the recordings of these trainings. Eventually, they'll all be in the portal. Next, you have free access to all courses that we release in the 12 months of your tenure. If something new is introduced, you will have access to that. And now here's the kicker. Remember I said there are levels to this? If you go into the Legacy Wealth Builder and you want to upgrade into our Legacy Wealth Accelerator, which is where folks are running for 7 figures and beyond, and there are all kinds of tax advantage strategies and wealth building strategies. Once you learn how to make the money, you got to keep it. As long as you up level within your 12 months, you get credit for whatever you invested to go into the next program. So I also said to you that for those of you, so far so good. I'd love to hear from you. What are you guys thinking? What are you guys thinking about all of this? Well, Barbara, if you're this is for one person, right? To you to share this with your family, right? But you're the person that's got to show up at this meeting. If you want to pay monthly, click pay monthly. If you want to pay in full, pay in full. But here's what I am going to give to those people who are fast action takers. Anita, if you want to stop sharing your screen for now, you can. All right, here's what I want to give to those fast action takers. For those of you who join, right, within the next 24 hours, you're going to get a couple of things. You're going to get, now, Legacy Wealth Builder does not have one-on-one coaching with me, right? You get strategic advisory with me once a month. But for those of you who take action within the next 24 hours, I'm actually going to give you an opportunity for me to do your strategy session, which is typically only given. And so we're going to create your 7-figure blueprint roadmap together. Are y'all with me? Now that in itself is worth its own value, and what I'm also going to throw in is you're going to get our WealthyU planner. So I'm going to go to this. So all of you, if you join within the next 24 hours, you can pay monthly or pay in full. You're also going to get what is our grand prize. Hang on, let me just show you what that looks like. what we were giving away as the grand prize bundle. I want to see who the fast action takers are. You're all going to get a WealthyU grand prize. So that's my Wealth Secrets book, the Goal Getter Planner, the A Purse of Your Own, the Nickel and Dime Your Way to Wealth. That in itself is worth a few $100s, right? So I want to know who's actually going to join. So if you join, I want to give you a shout out, but I also am going to open it up for questions, right? So if you have questions, you can post them in the chat and I will answer it. Or if you want, set up and you want to have a one-on-one session because you're not sure if you want to go into one of our other programs or our higher programs, I certainly am open to that. So far, so good. Share with me. I want to get your, learn what you think about our legacy wealth programs and how you actually learn how to build a portfolio and have the kind of success like so many of our mothers, our other members do. Barbara said, I need this. All right. I believe you need this as well. Who else believes they need it? Okay. Well, here's what I'm going to do. I want to share with you one more thing. I love sharing my videos. So I want to share with you what happens when you apply what you learn in WealthyU. Okay, watch the tape.
You can be a millionaire in retirement and you don't need to earn top dollar to do it.
The study showed that these weren't multimillionaires. These were typically someone earning up to $150,000.
Wealth expert Deborah Owens has clients whose retirement accounts have a lot of zeros. One of those clients is Tracy Washington. While she's not at $1 million just yet, she's certainly on her way, and she arrived there with careful planning and research. In 2016, Tracy sold her home and lived with her mother for 6 months. During that time, Deborah told her to put every cent of her paycheck into her 401k.
What I initially said was well, what do you want me to live on? I mean, what do you want me to do? I said, you want me to take it out of my savings? She's like, yeah. Just very matter of fact.
But that big risk put Tracy closer to her $1 million goal. While you may not have the luxury of living rent-free, Deborah says you can find your own path to 401k millionaire status. First, start saving early. According to the Motley Fool, a 30-year-old only has to contribute about $600 a month into their 401k to reach $1 million by age 65. But if you start saving when you're 40, you'd have to put away more than $1,200 a month. Second, always contribute the max. People with more than $1 million in their accounts typically contribute at least 15% of their salary. Third, take risks. Log into your 401k account and look at your portfolio. Research your investments and make changes to them if necessary.
Instead of just going with what's the easy investment, what is Fidelity throwing me into? Really research, look at the NASDAQ 12, know what stocks, mutual funds you are interested in.
And finally, invest in the stock market and targeted funds over a long period of time.
Now, the funny thing about that, do you guys see a theme here? And I think it's so funny is that what are they throwing me into? That seems to be the theme. But what I would say is this, listen, you have everything you need to be everything you need to be. And the only thing standing between you and the knowledge that you and the financial success that you desire and deserve really is knowledge. And that's what we offer in WealthyU. And why I want to invite all of you to consider taking ownership of your financial success and joining our sisterhood, right? If you want to be around other like-minded folks who want to see you be successful, this is the right place. You know, we have several members here. I'm looking at Sophonia, who is here, who's been a member. She's in our Legacy Wealth Accelerator program. Maddie Hayes is here. Who else is in the house? Stephanie Rosu is here. All of these folks are already members. And what's really, really interesting is that, you know, in spite of the folks that some of these folks have been here in for 3, 4, 5 years in many cases and have continued to invest in themselves. Well, what I would say to you is, are you worth it? I mean, one of the points that I have I always ask our members is, did you get a return on your investment? Right? That's right, Roxanne. We never stop learning. And all I want you to know is that if you are ready to take ownership of your success, if you want access to the knowledge that's been hidden from you, we've put it together for you right in WealthyU. Remember, fast track the next 24 hours. If you join, you're going to get a strategy session with me as well as the bonus pack. So I want you all to join me all back here for day 3 of the Get Wealthy Challenge. Day 3, I'm really going to be delving into what are your investment opportunity levers. Let me also say is that you have homework this evening, and your homework is in your Get Wealthy workbook is, I need for each of you to go into your 401ks, your retirement accounts, your personal accounts. And the exercise is for you to find out what your personal rate of return are on your investments, right? Now, what that's going to require you to do is to log into your accounts and look for performance. And I don't mean performance year to date. I mean performance for the entire time you've been invested in that account. Now, if you can't find that information, I need you to call your investment company, because some of them hide that information because they don't want you to see how your money is performing, right? In this challenge, you're going to learn exactly what you need to know to see if your money is in the right investments. And tomorrow night, what I'm going to be sharing with you are the investment levers that the wealthy use to have their funds accelerate faster and keep more of what they earn. So in the chat, let me know, has this been of value to you? If it's been of value, put yes in the chat. And I hope that you're going to meet us right back here. Pastor Rhonda needs a workbook. Okay, let's put a workbook in the chat. Let's put a workbook in the chat. Pauline says yes. Heather says yes. Excellent. Well, don't go anywhere, because tomorrow we're coming right back here to share exactly what you need to know. It's the third secret. Hang on, I'm gonna let me. Okay, great. The Get Wealthy workbook is in the chat if you don't have a copy of one. The other thing, I really want to make sure that you connect with our ambassadors. Virginia Rutherford Hall. Virginia, wave your hand so they know that you've been trying to connect with them. Anita, I know I saw Anita, and Sharice Irons, just raise your hand. Set up your WealthyU assessment programs specifically for those of you who really want to know about the other programs as well. And with that, I bid you all a good night. And I hope to see you right back here at 8 o'clock for the third day of our Get Wealthy Challenge. Thanks so much, everybody, and have a great evening.